This conference will now be recorded.
Stand, say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. This is the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors meeting. We're at the Mitchell County Courthouse, and the meeting is available by GoToMeeting also. We have an agenda in front of us. Any corrections needed? Otherwise, I'll accept the motion for it.
Make motion for the agenda?
And if she makes a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Your seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Approved minutes of the May 16th, 2023 meeting. Any corrections needed? Again, I'll accept the motion. Go ahead.
Yeah, correction is infill lot application for Dwayne Ramker. It's actually spelled Uane. I was gonna tell you that earlier.
Yep.
Okay. So, and then I would make the motion too.
Okay, with that correction, okay. Brian has made a motion with that correction. Is there a second?
Second.
Marco seconds. Further discussion? Hearing none?
Roll call, Todd,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Sydney. Jim.
Aye. County Attorney General discussion.
Don't have anything specific for you, given, the long weekend and what's going on, but I did forward at least, Rachel or Jim, or maybe all of you, I don't know. Sometimes I don't forward to everybody because I get a little gun shy about whether we start responding back and forth. But anyway, I did send out somebody, a draft of a moratorium regarding wind. Who did I send that to?
I got it.
Okay, you got it, right?
I haven't read it yet.
Okay, and this isn't, this is gonna be a policy decision whether you guys do, but, there was a while back when the wind energy guy was here and there was discussion of a moratorium, right? So, pursuant to that discussion, I don't know whether the moratorium is gonna be done or not, but I got some from different counties, did my own research, and I drafted one that if you guys want to go down that road, you might use. Okay, so I guess I sent that to Jim, and so if you can review that if you want. I'm not suggesting one way or the other whether you got to do it. It's just that I wanted to let you know that, so if you decide to take it up sometime, it's there. So I don't know that I have anything else specific today. I did check in there with Brad Sloter last week about that Carpenter S&H agreement. I like Brad. Brad's a good attorney. He's very detail oriented, which is good. But I'm getting a little tired of the back and forth with him, and I mean, he's a good guy. I mean, he's an excellent attorney, does an awesome job. But the back and forth, I get a little impatient with that, and so I answered these questions there last week that he had, and I said, okay, we're getting to the point now where you got to sign this, because I lose my patience when somebody starts asking the same questions over and over again. So I'll try and follow up with that, make sure that gets done. I've been following up. I'm just trying to make sure it gets done. I guess that's specifically probably all I have.
Any questions from the board? We are good. Okay, thank you. Sheriff is not in the room today. Department head discussion. Anything from anybody? Online, anything? Okay, nothing there. County engineer update. Are you online, Rich? You said you might be.
Don't see him.
Okay, so he sent an email this morning. Excuse me, he wasn't sure if he was gonna be here or not. So he's gonna try to zoom in, but I'll read what his email is, just gives an update. So he says, I will be gone all of next week. I was just notified this morning that the railroad is closing the crossing on Red Ball Road this week. This is the one by the substation just south of Train Lane in St. Ansgar. The contractor should be notifying the comm center and the local residents south of the project. They are also closing the one immediately north of that one by the school. We will receive rock quotes Friday. He said, Bill, go to the meeting next week if you need that reviewed. Otherwise, we will just accept the quote and move forward with the rock run. On the 13th, I'll probably have a professional services agreement for a box culvert the number of the structure is I-232. It's Echo north of 9. We are having a pre-con for Balsam this Friday with Worth County at the Worth County offices. And I asked them about that. The same contractor is doing a project in Worth County, so that's why we just going to have the pre-con for both projects at the Worth County office. Then the final note is our CAT 150 was delivered last week, and payment will be the first claim session in July. He says, I think that is all for now. So that is the engineer update.
Where do they get rock bids from?
Falk is the primary one, but Bruning sometimes has done because they have some outlying quarries that
Is
are
that the one
somewhat
south of
close.
town here?
The one south of town is Bruning and Kroll and Skyline are three companies that conglomerated.
Oh,
So I think the one south of Osage used to be a Kroll pit, and now I believe it's a Skyline pit.
I think it is, yeah. Actually, the sign.
So kind of the same company, but split a little
So
bit.
it gets bids from them.
If they submit a bid, I mean, he opens it up to them, but. Okay. Discussion and possible action on approval of ARPA funds to pay the KFS generator. And I believe this was in your good packet. So the services building, we had the previous contractor purchase the generator and a switch for the facility, and then Cooperative Farm Systems did the electrical hookup to it. We also had Adams were the ones that supplied the gas to it. We didn't. That was done, and so now Cooperative Farm Systems did the electrical part of it. So their invoice is for $1,064.98. I'll accept a motion to approve that using ARPA funds, if the board chooses.
I'll make a motion to approve that using the ARPA funds.
Mayor, you made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Marco seconds. Any further discussion?
I get it all hooked up.
Yes. Well, I haven't been over there to see it run, but yeah, I guess it is all hooked up. Yep. David said that it was there, so. Yeah.
I was just wondering, the due date was the 23rd. Are they aware of how we are doing this?
I saw that also. Then I didn't ask him about that, but I saw that also, Todd. It says down at the bottom, it talks about the finance charge per month. So I guess I was assuming that we were gonna get it in on the claims before a month was done. Would that probably happen, Rachel?
Well, looking at it, the date of the invoice is 5/23, that's also their due date. So I would guess that their due date is usually 30 days after, so that'd be 6/23, and that would be a problem. I mean, I can call them and ask them, but
Okay.
I guess that's how it is.
You think we would make it the 30 days
Yeah.
anyway?
Mhm.
Okay.
You did send us the claims, and when is the first one?
The 13th, I think it is. Yeah, the 13th and 27th.
Okay,
I think we should be fine. But I'll call them and double check.
Okay.
okay, thanks.
All right. We had a motion and a second. We had some questions. Any other questions? Hearing nothing?
Roll call, Jim,
Aye.
Sydney, Mike,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Todd.
Aye. Okay. Consideration of the second reading of ordinance 59. We had the public hearing of this last week. This is not a public hearing today. I'm going to do it a little bit similar to that, but there is no public hearing involved with this. But I also want to make sure that everybody knows what we're doing with what this is all about. So this is consideration of the second reading of ordinance 59. Consideration of this ordinance is being held at the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors meeting at the Mitchell County Courthouse. Ordinance 59 is related to amending Mitchell County Ordinance 54, which amended Ordinance 39 by deleting Article 2, Section 2, and replacing it with the new language. The ordinance is Mitchell County, Iowa, ordinance number 59. An ordinance amending Mitchell County Ordinance number 54, which amended Mitchell County Ordinance 39. Be it enacted by the Board of Supervisors of Mitchell County, Iowa. Mitchell County Ordinance number 54, which amended Mitchell County Ordinance number 39, is hereby amended in the following particulars. Article 2, Section 2 is amended by deleting it and replacing it with the following language. Rates and service. All customers shall pay a service charge for operation and maintenance in an amount not to exceed $80 per sewer user per month. The specific dollar amount per sewer user per month, if $80 or less, shall be determined by Board of Supervisors action. All charges shall be paid on the first day of the month following the period of service and should be paid at the office of the Carpenter City Clerk. And then it goes as far as enacted and an effective date if we approve it. That's the ordinance. And this probably pertains mostly to the public hearing, Rachel, but was notice of the proposed ordinance published in the newspapers from copies available at the auditor's office at that time. Has the board received any comments, written or orals, since the last meeting?
I just want to clarify, so what was published was the notice of public hearing.
Okay,
Then we'll publish the ordinance once it's passed.
Okay. all right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Has the board received any comments since our last meeting?
I have that.
Yeah, I have.
I'm sorry.
I have.
Okay. Okay,
I have.
and I did not, okay. Okay, so we have the option to waive this reading and go right to the final reading. So considering the requirements of Iowa Code 331.302.6, we have the ability to waive the first and second reading on ordinance 59. We've already read the first one. So does the board want to waive the second reading and make this the final reading? If so, I'll accept the motion for that. Okay. Guys, for lack of a motion, we will read the third reading at the next meeting. You want to put that on the agenda, Rachel?
Yep.
For next week? Discussion of possible action on Johnson Controls agreement. So we were sent a renewal for Johnson Controls, and it's for fire protections services for the jail and for the services building. It's a 5-year contract. The first year is for $1,984.45, and then they progressively increase it a little bit each year. The 5th year is $2,412.10. Excuse me. Any questions? I'm not an expert on that, but
Well, that's fine. The company Dave's been using, correct? I
Yeah.
think he's comfortable with their services.
Yeah.
Okay.
is there a motion to approve the 5-year contract?
I'll move to make that motion.
Lori makes a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Barto seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none.
Roll call, Todd,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Sydney, Mike.
Aye.
Mark.
Items of note, meetings attended. I did not have any.
I attended the opioid settlement last Wednesday. I learned a lot. A lot of information went out, a lot of discussions were made. Someone made a comment that we could use the opioid settlement money to fund a nurse or fund a deputy to be head lead. That's solely to pertain to that with drug users and everything.
I had a Central Iowa Juvenile Detention Center meeting and, just some notes, like the kids that go there, their average stay now is 28 days versus used to be 10 days a few years ago, so that's increased. They got their new addition building completed finally, 6.5 months late. There's like a $300 penalty per day on the building, so they'll get some money back, but on it, so they're excited to get that, and they can separate people more, so they're getting a lot of non-contract counties bringing people in, so they make more money on that too, so they, I don't know, they projected their budget will cover the building payments and everything. I think they're in good shape that way. And, I don't know, they do transportation, they do drug testing, they do all kinds of stuff all across the state of Iowa. And like last year, their business increased $10 million just on all that kind of stuff. So they're projecting it to increase again this year. So they're into it. Their juvenile detention is just a small piece of what they do. They do a lot. So anyway, that's kind of the highlights of that. And I went to St. Ansgar Daycare's groundbreaking ceremony too. So that was cold, but that was last Thursday. Anyway, for the daycare. Okay. For the daycare, yeah.
I went to the daycare also last week, and then I had a county social service meeting. We're in a pool with 12 other counties. It used to be 22 at one time, and the state took over the finances of that. And now they want to cut it down from each supervisor. There's a supervisor from each county on that board. Now they want to cut that down to half. So half the counties won't be represented by a supervisor. They're gonna add a law enforcement and a judicial representative, so the state's kind of, doing different things with the county social service that I don't think it's the right way to go.
So if it's a 12, they want to cut it down to 6, is that what you're saying?
12 counties, but there'll only be 6 supervisors represented.
Oh, okay.
It's on her desk to sign, and she hasn't signed it yet, but they figure she will. So then they gotta pick the 6 counties that will be representative. We'll still be represented, we'll still be in the pool, but we won't have a voice on the board. So they don't think that's. State's been doing some strange things lately.
Taking away local control. No, absolutely. No. That's it?
I had none, but I do want to apologize. I forgot this last week. May 19th, I was invited to the Osage Rehab by Mike. It was, they read, Brock Waters, the city administrator, read the proclamation, and then they fed us dinner, and it was also National Nursing Home Week too, and I should have had that in my notes from last week, and I forgot. So.
Maybe the food wasn't good.
Oh, right. Good old grilled burgers on Weber.
Yeah, whatever.
So, but no, enjoyed it. So that's all I had.
Okay. Public comments. Anything from the public? Yes.
I just have a question. Did the railroad give the county any idea how long these crossing repair for him to take?
I
With the closings?
I just saw that email this morning coming here. I don't know.
They didn't give us any estimate at the time.
Right.
Just ask.
Do you have Rich's email or contact?
Yeah, I get hold
He may have been told that, but he didn't say it in the email, so. Anything else? Okay. Meeting is adjourned.